Hello Sagittarius and welcome to Fey Light Tarot. This reading is for your manifestation for the next 4 weeks, that time period being the entirety of October to early November. Now, as per usual, I have cleansed and pre-shuffled my cards so that I can take my time over doing that and I don't have to waste any of yours. And as any tarot reader will tell you, there's a lot of you out there. So, take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. And if none of it resonates with you at all, then that's okay. It's just not the reading for you, and you can try again next time. But should you like what you see in here today, then please by all means do hit the like, share and subscribe buttons, and you will be alerted when your next reading is due out next week, and that will be for a wellness spread. So, before we start, what is a manifestation spread? At least for me. So a manifestation spread looks at the energies and vibrations that you're putting out into the universe, and it gives you a set of advice on what to do if you're wanting to step things up a bit. So for example, if you're wanting to bring in new things into your life, like a new job, new explorations, new group friends, things like that. And it also looks at what kind of vibrations you're putting out there as well, because after all, what you put out into the universe is what you receive back in turn. It gives you a little indication of what you could probably work at in order to make improvements for yourself. So, the current vibration that you are admitting is the Six of Wands, and that talks about success, which is really lovely. Tell me about the Six of Wands for Sagittarius, please. Six of Wands for Sagittarius. Thank you. What messages would you like to say to me? Thank you. Thank you. Quite a few messages coming through for you, Sagittarius. Oh. Fumble. Oh, lovely. Okay, we'll come back to the bottom of the deck in a second. Okay, so for your Six of Wands, we have the Empress, the Four of Wands, the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and we also have the Knight of Wands. Oh, interesting. So with this Six of Wands energy of you feeling successful, it's pretty beautiful because it's coming from a place of abundance. You feel that you're being nurtured as well with your general energies within your environments. You have the Four of Wands there that talks about stability. I also often take it as family, but it can also mean that you've been celebrated for something in particular, or perhaps there is a celebration that is incoming for you. That could be a marriage or a graduation ceremony or anything of those lines. And I feel that for a little while beforehand, things were just ever so slightly out of balance for you, and things were on the cusp of maybe spiraling out of control, but you did have an epiphany that you needed to take some action into changing up what you were doing and how you were doing, and how to just, I feel like, organize your time and your resources, which is really, really good, Sagittarius. And it's brought you to this place of you feeling that actually I have everything in control. I feel really accomplished. There's also this element when it comes to the Six of Wands about doing a victory lap. So perhaps there was something quite tricky for you to get over. Even like since we were talking about graduation there with the Four of Wands, it could be the end of a course had come, or some sort of training or a trial period, and it was like, yep, I went through it and I came through it, and here I am with all this abundance. That's lovely. At the bottom of the deck, for the subconscious and the hidden, we have the Star card. So it's a period of new healing for you right now, and I feel that you're on the correct path for it, and there's some element of a wish fulfillment there too, because there was a moment there, Sagittarius, where you were really, really struggling. The Five of Pentacles talks about temporary hardships. Now, this could quite easily talk about finances and possessions and so on, but it can also talk about the body. So it could be that you were in some sort of distress that you knew was going to give you some heartache. And one of the reasons why, I think, because, as I said, that Two of Pentacles in reverse there, that recognition that things were getting out of balance, you needed to take some time out to heal and to really consider what you were doing and just to think and rest, put all your ducks in a row. And what's lovely is that I think you realised that you had the support of people around you that love you and that respect you and want to help you. This could be family, it could be a romantic partner, it could even just be a mentor or somebody who holds you in high regard. And because of that, they were able to give you that impetus to go, right, action needs to be taken. And that's precisely what you did. That's absolutely wonderful, Sagittarius. That's beautiful messages coming through for you. Excellent. Oh, and for some reason, we have the Queen of Pentacles here too. It's left you feeling very grounded and very secure. Could also be as well that that Two of Cups that showed up in the subconscious in the background there. It could be a figure that brings you great comfort. In terms of, they make me feel safe, they make me feel stable. Even somebody who does support you in the ways that you need to be supported in. That's really lovely. So, what energies should you be open to receiving? And that is the Chariot. Now that talks about will, determination, self-assurance, self-esteem. It also talks about the controlling of these two opposite forces here. So let's get some more information about that. Tell me about the Chariot for Sagittarius, please. The Chariot for Sagittarius. What messages and energies would you like me to see? Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. There's also a message that comes with the Chariot, excuse me, and that's that continuous movement, the moving on. So in essence, that could very well be a case of be open to the energies of continuing this good streak that you've got going, for you taking control of how you're feeling and how you do things. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. We have the Devil card. We have the Hermit, the Three of Wands, and we've also got the Queen of Cups here. Interesting. So it could entirely be, Sagittarius, that one of the things that you were struggling with was your social life. Maybe it was impacting on the things that you were needing to stay on top of and to keep confession time, right? I am terrible with personal time management, or just time management in general, right? And it could be as well that that was maybe an issue for you because your friends were all out there having so much fun and you were getting invited to hang out with them because you love them, you want to be with them, you want to have the good times with them. But there is that element of the temptation and, well, broadly speaking, what could be called as unhealthy habits. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to talk about things like, drugs and alcohol and whatever, but just generally like the unhealthy habits of, well, I know that I should do this thing because it's really important, but I'll just go and meet the girls for one drink, just the one, and then it ends up being a full night, or, which is bad for me, I'm just going to watch one more episode of my show. And then you end up binge watching a bunch. So maybe something to keep an eye on is that whole using the impetus. And the key for you being open to this energy of keeping things going is using your internal wisdom. Have a real good think about what your priorities are and what they should be, and making the effort of finding a way to organise your time. Now, it sounds terribly boring, I know, but one of the things that I'm going to be doing particularly, because I do recognise that my personal time management is an issue, is writing down a type of structure for my week and what to do and when and so on. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that that's rigid and that that's what you stick to, but if it helps you to figure out, okay, what areas are lacking that I need to put more time into, and what areas am I giving too much time into that they're actually causing harmful distractions to what I'm needing to do. And what's good about that, about you using your wisdom and finding out how you can manage your time better, is that is going to actually open up not just a new path for you, but it's going to open up a way of life for you that you're going to follow to new horizons. And it's beautiful, actually, because what sounds like rigidity is actually you practicing self-love for yourself. I know that sounds a bit weird, right? But think about it in this way. If you give somebody, it doesn't have to be an adult, or it could be a child or even a pet. If you give somebody something, everything that they want all the time, then they don't really figure out about boundaries and barriers and so on, right? So what do you do to help with that? Well, you use empathy and you use compassion to understand, okay, well, I get it, that there are certain needs that need to be met. And when we're talking about dialing it back on some of those needs, we're not talking about restricting them, because we need various things in our life to bring us happiness. So it's about regulation, more regulation than anything. Now, what is really lovely is that at the bottom of the deck, for this being open to receiving the whole keeping up the momentum energy, you have the Emperor, and that is actually going to help you with structuring your plan, because he is an analytical thinker and he's very good. I do feel that there is a wee message of warning in there about he has a stern energy about them, so don't be too strict on yourself, Sagittarius. Sometimes just a wee tweak here and there is all that's needed, because something does require a bit of a change of perspective for you. And there seems to be, as well, you have this, you've also got the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Cups here at the bottom of the deck too. And there's a suggestion there in the whole, some things are needs that, as I say, you require in order to bring happiness to your life. But other things are just straight out distractions and they need to be nipped in the bud quickly. And once you do that, your comfort levels are going to soar. Not only that, but your powers of manifestation are going to really, really increase. Woo! So, what will come when you are open to receiving this energy of carrying on the momentum is the Judgment card. And that's quite a lovely card to get for this position, Sagittarius, because what the Judgment card talks about is the Judgment card talks about this revelation of self and this unification of self. It's also, for me, a card of authenticity, because there's transparency there. You're understanding things about yourself and what you need and want, what drives you, what your passions are. And also, there's an element too of the revelation of truth. So some of those things, as I said with the bottom of the deck just a second ago, some of those things that you feel that you need right now, the reality is they're actually just distractions and you don't need them as much as you do. That's very, very interesting. Tell me about the Judgment card for Sagittarius, please. Judgment card for Sagittarius. What's happening? Seems to be becoming my catchphrase, and I'm really sorry about it. What am I sorry about that? Not really, because I'm Scottish. I can't help it. Rolls off the tongue. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Messages and energies, please. Thank you. Messages and energies, please. You have the Ten of Cups in reverse. You have the Nine of Wands on its side, and you have the Three of Swords here. So it seems to me, Sagittarius, that there is a risk factor here for you, that even though you're looking at the truth of what you need and what you want to do, there's an element of you becoming unhappy with it, and possibly even a disturbance to your harmony. And there is this whole, like, you feeling the need to, like, raise your barriers, so to speak, so that you don't get hurt. But there is a heartbreak that will come with that. And I feel this comes into play with the whole, what we were talking about with the rigidity. Don't be too rigid about the things that you remove or reduce, because see, with the Ten of Cups in reverse, yes, it talks, it is the reverse of the happiness and the family harmony, right? But it could be as well that there may be an effect on the people that you regard as family, and they may end up feeling quite hurt by this. So as I say, there's a very, very fine line of what you need to do to get to the energies that you need in order to proceed to some sort of success. But remember and ask yourself, at what cost? You know, because it's all well and good to have drive and ambition, okay? It's important for us to have drive and ambition, because that's how we move through life in terms of what we achieve, how we gather resources, and how we make ourselves comfortable financially and otherwise. But there is a danger of becoming too driven in that area. So don't forget about the people around you that are close to you. Because remember as well that having the closeness of those people around you, especially the people that you regard as family, those connections are fundamental to us as human beings. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. So that may sound like a contradiction to what I said previously about the Three of Cups in reverse, and the Devil card talking about, you know, the whole maybe you're partying too hard. Okay, fine. But perhaps there are other ways of using your time with the people that you're close to. Have a wee think about that and see what goes on. The leap of faith. What is going on in my nose being so itchy? This always happens actually when I'm doing tarot. Your leap of faith, or the next step for you to take, is the Hanged Man. Now, what was that that came out? The Strength card. Beautiful. And the Hanged Man talks about the change of perspective. It talks about giving into the will of the universe. Also talks a little bit about sacrifice. Tell me about the Hanged Man for Sagittarius, please. The Hanged Man for Sagittarius. The Hanged Man for Sagittarius. What messages are there? Thank you. We have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Death card, Queen of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. Yes, change in perspective and sacrifice is going to be the leap forward for you. So accept that in order for you to cut back on the things that bring you material success, right? Cutting back on the material success, because there is a transition that needs to be made there. There needs to be something that has to have a renewal for you in order for you to improve whatever it is energy wise that you need to do to bring more positivity and bring more security into your life. And again, when I'm talking about security, I'm not just meaning financial or resource security. I mean, what do you need, Sagittarius, to make you personally feel secure? Do you need to have more family time around you? Do you need to have more connections around you? What do you need to bring more joy to you? And I think that the best thing that you can do for that is to look at things honestly and truthfully and communicate with the people around you. Communicate with yourself about, okay, well, what is it that I need to put? What is it that I need to change my perspective on in order to get me to a better frequency? Or not a better frequency, a higher frequency, one that's going to bring more positivity and better manifestation my way. Because it feels like there's almost an energy that you've, like, I want to say a learned energy of, but I have to gather all of these resources and I have to keep them because that keeps me safe. As I say, yes, financially it may keep you safe, but at what cost? And that's one of the things that we need to look at in order to improve our energies. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Cups, the Two of Wands, you have the High Priestess, and you also have the Six of Cups here. This is for the hidden and unseen. So yeah, think about, what is it that brings you joy? What is it that brings you love in that sense of fulfillment within you, that emotional fulfillment in you? Because this path that you're on, it does promise you the world and it does promise you everything. But what does your instincts tell you right now? What does your intuition tell you about the quality of life that you have right now? Because it feels to me, Sagittarius, that with the Six of Cups appearing here as well, are you forgetting things from your past? Are you having to reconnect with things from your past in order to figure out what it is that brings you fulfillment? Is your inner child satisfied? Because I feel that as adults, nurturing our inner child is really important for our continuing development. So if you think about it from like a realistic perspective, right? When you were a child, you relied on your primary caregiver, whoever that may be, to supply you with the things that you needed and the things that you wanted. Now that you're an adult, Sagittarius, you can get anything. So let's say, it's funny actually, right? So I'm rewatching Supernatural, you know, the TV show, and I just watched the episode where Dean saw this giant slinky, and he was like, "Oh my god, I've always wanted one of those." So he was like trying to get as many tickets as he possibly could to win that slinky. That to me is a real good example of nurturing your inner child. Shout out to any supernatural fans out there. So how can you manifest even more successfully? And that is the Ace of Wands, and that is essentially taking action on the things that you need to have a look at too. There's also an implication here of a new job, or a new beginning of some sort. It could also be really taking the wheel on the things that you want to explore, the creativity things, the passionate things. Tell me about the Ace of Wands for Sagittarius. Ace of Wands for Sagittarius, what's happening? What messages do you have for me? Okay. Okay, we have the Ten of Pentacles, we have the Chariot, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Ace of Wands again, but in reverse this time. Yes, I feel, Sagittarius, you have been on this drive, this real powerful drive forward to getting success. And not only getting success, but getting recognition for your success. You know, it feels like perhaps you're very, very career driven, and perhaps you're actually in a position where you're relatively high up in the food chain, or it's just something that you just put your heart and soul into it, which is beautiful. That's really good. Congratulations and well done for making that achievement. It's not easy to do that, but keep reminding yourself on that phrase, at what cost, because the Eight of Pentacles is suggesting that it's time to move on to pastures new. There's also this element of abandonment that comes from it. So do you feel perhaps that maybe you've abandoned something or someone that brings you joy, because you're feeling success, no doubt about it, but ask yourself, Sagittarius, when was the last time that you were actually really, really excited about something? Apologies if that's a really personal question, right? Because obviously you can't answer it here. I'm not asking you to. I'm just asking you to consider that. When was the last time that you felt excited about exploring something or creating something? When we saw the Four of Swords earlier on, that whole needing to realize that if you were to open yourself up to this energy of momentum, part of it was taking a rest period. Also, don't forget as well, with the Chariot, as I said previously, that that energy of controlling opposing forces, managing to find better balance. Oh, because Sagittarius, I feel that there's a slight all or nothing kind of energy going on with you. And I feel that, I don't know, do you still feel like you're a bit of a babe in the woods with it all? Because you've made your successes, you've proved yourself. And I know, like, the Page of Wands, right? The Page of Wands, the, the Page of Pentacles wants to prove themselves, right? They want to prove that they're diligent and they're studious and that they do a really good job. So do you still feel that you still have to keep on proving yourself, hence the all or nothing energy? Because the truth is, Sagittarius, is that you're already doing it. You're already super victorious in what you're doing. You're already amazing at what you're doing. You're a conqueror of what you're doing. But if you just unify yourself, you find this wholeness within you to balance the opposing forces of making success, but also nurturing the things that you need to bring you joy, like true joy, not just partying with people that bring about unhealthy habits, but the things that actually bring you nourishment. If you do that, then you're going to start to become curious about the world, and you're going to start looking at life in a different way. There's going to be more of a happy-go-lucky attitude with you. Is that something that you feel that is being neglected for you, Sagittarius? Do you feel that you're all work and minimal play, or at least all work and some degree of play, but it's not play with the people or the thing that you're wanting to play with? Only you know. A message from your higher self or spirit is the Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands can talk about competition, it can talk about strife, arguments, maybe even a competitive nature. Tell me about the Five of Wands for Sagittarius, please. Five of Wands for Sagittarius. Okay. Five of Wands for Sagittarius. What's going on? Oh. Okay. Right. We have the Emperor, the Page of Cups, the Six of Cups, Ten of Swords, and we have the High Priestess. Okay. I think this message from your higher self or spirit is a message about the competitive nature that you are experiencing. Because, how else would you have gotten this degree of success and recognition if there wasn't competition involved for you? I feel that it's a warning for you because with the Emperor, there is that sternness, that analytical of thought. Now, look at his face. Does he look like he's having any fun? He's got an empire. He's got all the resources that an emperor could possibly need or want in order to rule over a country. But how happy is he? If you just embraced a little bit more curiosity and following the river to see what happens, not only are you going to be delighted that you're going to find a fish in a cup, but there's also going to be a lightness to you. It's almost like I feel like taking off a really heavy coat, I got a strong sensation of a literal weight being removed from your shoulders. And with that comes that celebration of the inner child. All the things that you wanted to do as a kid, but you perhaps didn't get to, or you want to re-experience. And I know that it's going to feel to you, or at least this discussion in itself will maybe feel like, so what, I should just accept defeat? No, I'm not saying just accept defeat, because yes, he has been defeated because a wrong move was made somewhere that cost him the battle. But the new dawn there is rising on a new day. You just need to use your instincts and your intuition to figure out what is best for you, because only you know what's best for you, Sagittarius. Something needs to be lost for you to flourish. And you don't want to look at what that is. I know you don't, or at least you're blindfolded to what it is, because this crossroads is so difficult. But once you figure out what it is, Sagittarius, there's a whole new journey coming your way, and it's one filled with optimism. But a leap of faith is required in order for you to do that. Because at some depth within you, you do have this desire to go and learn new things, to seek new truths, intellectual pursuits even. In fact, do you wish for it? Okay, let's have a wee summary of that, Sagittarius. So right now you do have this energy, this vibration of being really successful. You're super abundant and you were struggling to get things under control, but you were being proactive about it. And the energy for you to be open to receiving is that one of perseverance, keeping the momentum up. Also the possibility of controlling opposing forces, because there are some unhealthy practices right now that is stopping you from feeling joy or from experiencing joy. And it could entirely be that either it's the wrong friend group that you're partying with, or you're neglecting your friend group or the people that you love. But using your wisdom and your compassion for self is going to be the way forward. There is a wee bit of a roadblock for you in doing that though, because I feel like you're hesitant to actually look at what it is that you need and what you want, because you've been in this mode for so long, that it brings it, you're worried that it's going to bring you some form of heartache or some form of loss. But employing a change of perspective on what success really is, at what cost did you get that success? Because what is it that brings you joy right now? What is it that makes you excitement? And are you engaging in things that bring you joy and excitement? Because once you realize that you no longer have to be as competitive as you have been to get to this level of success, you're already recognized for being really good at what you do. You don't have to prove yourself anymore, Sagittarius. People know and they see. But once you figure out you don't have to be as competitive or as stern or strict with yourself, the door is going to open to you for new curiosities that's going to nurture your inner child. And it's going to bring new opportunities and new beginnings your way. Wow. Well, that was a hell of a reading for you, Sagittarius. And I hope that if this reading resonated with you, that you take into consideration some of the things that we've talked about and some of the advice that the cards have given you, and some of the mechanisms that we've talked about of how to implement them. Because let's be honest, sometimes having a reading like this can really stick in one's throat, because it is quite no pissing about, if you know what I mean. Like, getting to the heart of the matter. It's not easy to address that because it can make people uncomfortable. But if this resonates with you, I hope that you enjoyed what you saw and you heard today, and as I say, that you take it and have a right good think about things, about what you need to do next. So if you did like it, please hit the like, share and subscribe buttons, and I will see you next time for next week's reading, which will be for wellness. Okay, take care of yourself, Sagittarius. Bye.